Researchers have recently discovered an obscure section of biblical manuscript that has been hidden for almost 1,500 years since its initial composition. The misplaced division embodies one of the oldest renditions of the Gospels, which has been reported by a recent publication in the journal New Testament Studies. Grigory Kessel, an Austrian Academy of Sciences member, utilized ultraviolet photography to identify a chapter concealed beneath two sheets of text. According to Dr. Kessel, up until a short time ago, there were only two manuscripts that had the old Syriac translation of the Gospels. One of these manuscripts can be found in the British Library situated in London, whereas the other one was found at St. Catherine's Monastery in Mount Sinai. The scholars have revealed that the recently found script is an explication of Matthew chapter 12 in the Bible, which was initially translated as a fragment of the ancient Old Syriac translations nearly 1,800 years ago. The only remaining document that confirms the Old Syriac version is the fragment, which they claimed was a remarkable entrance to the early stage of the transmission of Gospels in history. This was stated by the experts, who are aware of the intricacies of the subject matter. The provided text also presents new perspectives about variances in data included in translated materials. In the Syriac translation of Matthew chapter 12 verse 1, it is stated that the disciples of Jesus picked the heads of grain and rubbed them in their hands before eating them. This is different from the original Greek version, which only states that they picked the heads of grain and ate them. According to the study, there is certainty that the Gospel book was created prior to the 6th century in regards to its dating. The authors said that although the available number of manuscripts from that time is limited, by comparing them with the dated Syriac manuscripts, we can estimate that it was most likely written during the first half of the 6th century. Around 1,300 years ago, parchment was scarce in some regions, and as a result, people often reused pages by erasing the earlier biblical text. This incredible discovery shows us that there's still much to learn about religion, and that as technology moves forward, more and more of these discoveries will come to light. The Vatican's Apostolic Archives are a treasure trove of history and secrets. The Vatican Apostolic Archives, previously known as the Vatican Secret Archives, is an immense repository of historical documents, letters, and records that chronicle the Catholic Church's history and its interactions with the world. With over 1,000 years of history, the Apostolic Archives provide a unique insight into the Catholic Church's role in shaping global events and the lives of countless individuals. The origins of the Vatican Apostolic Archives can be traced back to the early days of the Catholic Church. However, the archive's formal establishment is credited to Pope Paul V in the early 17th century. The archives initially served as the private collection of the popes, preserving their correspondences, official documents, and other records related to the administration of the Church. Located within the Vatican City, the Apostolic Archives span over 85 kilometers of shelving and house millions of documents, including manuscripts, codices, and parchments. The oldest document in the collection dates back to the 8th century, while the most recent records are from the early 20th century. The Apostolic Archives house a wealth of historical documents that provide invaluable insights into the Church's history and its interactions with governments, monarchs, and other religious institutions. Some of the most notable documents include the papal bulls, such as the 1493 Inter Caetera, which divided the New World between Spain and Portugal, and the 1521 bull excommunicating Martin Luther, a seminal event in the Protestant Reformation. Other notable documents include correspondence between popes and prominent historical figures, such as letters exchanged between Pope Innocent III and England's King John during the negotiations that led to the Magna Carta in 1215. The archives also contain trial records from the Inquisition, as well as documents related to the Church's stance on scientific discoveries, such as the case against Galileo Galilei. Historically, the Apostolic Archives were shrouded in secrecy and largely inaccessible to the public. However, in the 19th and 20th centuries, the Vatican gradually opened the archives to qualified scholars and researchers. In 2019, Pope Francis changed the name from the Vatican Secret Archives to the Vatican Apostolic Archives to dispel the notion of secrecy and emphasize the archive's service to the Church and humanity. Despite the increased access, some controversies persist. Critics argue that the Vatican still exercises excessive control over the archives and restricts access to certain documents, particularly those related to the Church's role in the Holocaust and other contentious historical events. The Vatican maintains that it is committed to transparency and has opened a significant portion of its Holocaust-era documents for research. The Apostolic Archives face numerous challenges, including the preservation of fragile and ancient documents and the need to catalogue and digitize the vast collection. In recent years, the Vatican has undertaken significant efforts to preserve and restore its historical treasures using state-of-the-art technology. Collaborative projects with various institutions have also been launched to digitize the documents and make them more accessible to researchers around the world. Unraveling the secrets of the Vatican's Apostolic Archives. The Vatican's Apostolic Archives also contain an extensive collection of trial transcripts and other documents related to the Inquisition, a series of institutions within the Catholic Church that aimed to combat heresy and maintain doctrinal purity. Among these records are the trial transcripts of the Knights Templar, a powerful military order accused of heresy and disbanded by Pope Clement V in the early 14th century. These documents offer a detailed account of the charges against the order, the testimonies of its members, and the political machinations that led to the order's demise. The Apostolic Archives also contain a section known as the Secretum, which holds sensitive documents that are off-limits to researchers. The contents of the Secretum remain a mystery, fueling speculation about what hidden secrets may lie within. While the Vatican has not provided a comprehensive list of the documents held in the Secretum, it is believed to contain materials related to espionage, internal affairs, and other sensitive matters. The Vatican's Apostolic Archives hold a treasure trove of historical documents that reveal fascinating insights into the Catholic Church's role in shaping global events and its interactions with prominent historical figures. As more documents become accessible to researchers, the mysteries hidden within the archives continue to unravel, offering invaluable perspectives on the history of the Catholic Church and its influence on the world. Despite ongoing debates about transparency and access to sensitive materials, the Apostolic Archives remain a critical resource for historians and scholars seeking to understand its complex history. So, what do you make of these interesting discoveries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.